relay automator in demo mode. Usually this is in live mode. We'll have the L version here and it'll actually book, but for testing and demo purposes, this is in test mode. So what you see is going to imitate a booking, but it's not actually going to book. So we're in the load board here. We'll just pick saved search and we'll just do auto book here. This is a maximum number of stops, so if you don't care about that, you just leave it as any or just don't touch it. These are avoid destinations, so let's go here and reduce this and this. See, we have two loads that show up. So here we have 6 stops, right? So if you put maximum stops as 4 and 6 is higher than 4, obviously, and if you run it, it's not gonna book. It's gonna fail and say exceeds maximum stops. So you have the ability to select the maximum stops that you want. Another thing you can do is change the interval. So let's go back here. You want a higher payout, higher price per mile, and now you're ready to launch the bot. So you just interval, every 1,000 milliseconds. That means it's 1 second, or you can do 800 milliseconds, and this is within n hours. So the load has to be within n hours. So you can specify you want it to book the load if its departure time is within, let's say, 12 hours. And then this one is after X hours. So you want the load to be booked after a certain number of hours. So you can, if you don't care, then you can just put 0, or you can even put 0.5. and then hit run, and then these are the destinations that you want to avoid. So you can just put anything here if you don't want specific destinations. So let's just start. There we go. Now it's just refreshing every 800 milliseconds, and as soon as a load is found, it'll book it as long as it matches all these criteria. So let's say for testing purposes, so let's just put 1200. So every 1.2 seconds it'll refresh. So that's it. The bot is looking for the load. Nothing is found. As soon as something is found, it'll book it. So let's just reduce this real quick. And this. Boom. Now it says the load found is not within the selected time frame. So we've set within 12 hours, but this load here is, today is the 12th, and this is in a week from now on the 19th. So they didn't book it. So if you put, within 999 hours, and then do test book, then it'll book it. See, it just booked it. So that's how it works for now, and any of the features we can customize and change it to your needs. Let's say here maximum stops is 6, it'll book it, and then let's say you put destination here is PNE5. So if you put PNE5 to avoid and then hit book, it'll say avoiding destination PNE5. So you can actually avoid some of the destinations if you don't want them to be booked. And if you don't want that, then it will book whatever it finds here. Another thing we have here is let's just look at Sacramento, for example, where I'm sitting. We can activate the one-click mode. The list is super long here, so it's taking a while to load. But let's just look at a different place here. Let's just look at this one, for example. Okay. One-click mode changes the book button into a confirm button. So you can just do one-click mode and then hit run. It will just keep refreshing the list. Since it's too long, we should probably change it to 3 seconds, for example. Anyway, it'll change these buttons to a confirm button. That way, when you see a load, you want to save a couple of seconds, you just click confirm and it'll click book right away. It won't actually ask for the confirmation. It'll just, as soon as you click here, it'll book. So it'll save you a couple of seconds. That way, in this mode, you can refresh the list. As soon as you see something, you can quickly manually book something fast. That's one mode. Stop and ask is kind of like a testing mode. So you can just test these features, and instead of booking, it will just refresh, and then as soon as it's found, it'll click book and it'll ask you to confirm. So this is kind of another thing that you can use to test. But other than that, the auto book in live mode will be red and it will actually book. But right now it's in the testing mode, so it's just showing as if it's booking, but it's not actually booking. So there you have it. But any of these features obviously can be customized depending on your needs. But it does automate the booking process. As soon as something is found here, it just books it if it meets these criteria.